is a profile picture I uploaded July 2008. As you can see, I was completely influenced by the mid-2000s hip-hop scene. Now, at this time, I was so passionate about basketball, and that was the thing that I wanted to do. And this picture is actually on the way to going to church. And you know, church became such an important part of my life. And little did I know that God had a completely different plan for me. Now, being born in Zimbabwe, there was so much chatter about politics. Hey, there was so much chatter about politics. I mean, whether it was shouts of independence or freedom, or it was whispers of corruption and hyperinflation. And you know, for me, this was the reason I think that I really started to get involved in politics. Now, the way that I started to get involved was actually through these really small debates we used to have in citizenship class. So we would have, we talk about the Iraq War and the death penalty and different things like that, of course, much like every 15-year-old would spend talking about. And I actually got my friend to come over, and she said, "Oh, Harry, I saw this advert on TV the other day, and basically, like, the team who get to go to Italy and meet Barack Obama." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "I'm in. Like, are you serious?" And that's around the time he got elected. And actually, he was so influential in my life and everything that I did. So we decided to do it. We were like, "Yeah, let's go," during lunchtime. And after so much grinding, I mean, we were in a position where our school was closing the next year. It was called a failing school. And all of my teachers, my peers, and everyone was like, why would you even apply? Why do you think some kids from Croydon are going to be picked, right? And we thought we have to prove them wrong. I mean, it was much more of a pride thing, of course, but we definitely had to do it. And little did they know. So after all of this, we basically decided, okay, right, we're gonna go for it. And we ended up doing it. We got picked for the top 10, which was incredible. And as we arrived there, you know, I knew we'd stick out, but I didn't know how much we would. So we got there, and everyone else was from private and grammar schools. And also, so bearing in mind, it was me, I'm from Zimbabwe, of course, like I've mentioned, my friend from Kurdistan, and my other friend who's mixed race Caribbean, and my friend from Eritrea. And everyone was like, "The UK team? Really? Is that really how that's gonna happen?" So we got there 2 interviews later. We were actually picked to be the UK delegation going to the G8 summit that year. And we met an incredible amount of incredible people, and handing over this mission statement that we had to 8 of the most powerful people in the world. I asked God, I was like, "Is this really what you want me to do?" I mean, millions of people in my country were actually hurt and completely stricken by this. And I thought, God, how is this the thing that you want me to do? I mean, I wanted to be Kobe. Like, that's what I wanted to do, you know. And actually, you know, that day did something in me. There was something about that day that made me go, hey, I'm going to explore this a bit more and see what it means. So I chose my A-levels. I took a step of faith. I chose my A-levels based on the fact that not being an NBA All-Star, but in fact going into politics. But it wasn't easy, guys. Like, I had some of my friends playing for the under-21 basketball teams, and I also had another group of my friends who were actually sitting there going, hey, I'm in banking and I'm in finance, and I was doing unpaid work for an MP, and you know, it was hard and it wasn't easy. But actually, the thing that overrode it the most is that I absolutely loved it. And I got really good, and you know, I even became a board member, but there was something not right. I just really wanted to make a change. I wanted something to be real about what I was doing. So I was thrown into this room full of these young campaigners who worked on female genital mutilation and FGM. And don't get me, female genital mutilation and early forced marriage. And don't get me wrong, I'd heard about these things before, but I'm a guy. Had no idea about what these issues had to do with me. And actually, that for me made me realize that that's exactly what I needed to do. At the end of the day, I had this passion that, and every single day I would sit in this workshop where these young campaigners were talking at me, going, hey, this is a really important issue. And I got so angry and frustrated, and I was like, I have to do something about it. This could have been my sister. This could have been my mom that this could have happened to. So that marked that led me to the 19th of July, 2014, and that was my 21st birthday. But more importantly, it marked the beginning of something which was an organization that focused on ending female genital mutilation in FGM. But it wasn't through the normal means of development. It was through using the experts, using the people that actually affected the most, and that was young people. So we started this organization, and there's going to be a picture that's going to come up of me at the UN General Assembly speaking about female genital mutilation, FGM, and how God was actually able to use me in it. Now, there's so many stories I could tell you about throughout the whole organization in terms of what we've been able to do, the fact that we're in Bangladesh, Tanzania, and Ethiopia. But actually, the most important thing for me throughout this whole thing was that so many of my friends ask me, they always ask me, Harry, where is God in all of this? Where is God in all this political turmoil? And I turn around and say, God's in me. I'm the vessel. I'm his answer to these world problems. And at the end of the day, I always ask this one question. It was always one question in my head. And I always said, God, why international politics? I don't understand. It didn't make sense for me. And I got this realization to say, actually, if I can change one thing from the top table, then I'm actually able to affect millions of lives. But actually, the most important thing from all of that is that the job requirement for all of this is to be perfectly unqualified. And that's why politics is my sphere, and I'm going to continue to go in it. And that NBA guy you saw right at the beginning is the guy influencing the world. Thank you.